FIDE Grand Swiss Day 5, when you look at the Indian contingent, today it was one of the most horrible days that you could encounter. Gukesh lost. Praggnanandhaa lost. Vantika Agarwal lost. Divya Deshmukh lost. The only individuals who came out on top today from the top board was Arjun Erigaisi. And when you look at the other boards, Nihal Sareen did well against Leon Mendonça and Abhimanyu Puranik did well against Vladimir Fedosiev. But the loss by Gukesh today and Praggnanandhaa exposed one very worrying thing. The worrying thing was that in a position where it was a dead draw, they were too aggressive. Gukesh overexerted himself. He made a blunder when he was ensuring that his rooks were not in the right place, and because of that, he unfortunately blundered. The material advantage, the pawn advantage was gone, and that is why he lost to Abhimanyu Mishra. That itself is a very big story in a sense, because there is a lot of history behind Abhimanyu Mishra. Abhimanyu Mishra plays for the US, but he became the youngest ever grandmaster at the age of 12. So that is one interesting story that has crept up in this whole bit. So Gukesh, a 19-year-old, losing to 15-year-old Abhimanyu Mishra. That is the story of the Grand Swiss that happened today. On the other hand, Divya Deshmukh, having won her game against the Egyptian Grandmaster Asim, she put on a good show, but today she blundered on a lot of occasions. Even her opponent blundered as well. And that is why even she lost in a game today. Vantika Agarwal, now 3 straight losses. That incident against Bibisara Suboyeva has really affected her in a big way. Harika and Vaishali drew, so Vaishali continues to remain unbeaten. But the other heartbreaking news was Praggnanandhaa. In a long drawn out night end game, when his opponent, the German Grandmaster, was up a pawn advantage, he just had to resign. And because of that, 2 matches, Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa, when you look at them, it is a missed opportunity because they overexerted. They were far too aggressive in a position where they should have accepted that it's a draw, you could come back later on. But in the quest to win, this is why the Grand Swiss is so tough on you. One slip up and you will fall down the pecking order. And that is why Parham Maghsoodloo today managed 4.5 out of 5. He's now won his 4th straight game. He looks to be the guy to beat in the Grand Swiss event that is going on. So Parham Maghsoodloo has done very well. Only Arjun Erigaisi has come out on top, and that is why when you look at India's hopes for somebody to qualify from the Grand Swiss, it most likely is Arjun Erigaisi. Remember the format, folks. Top 2, they qualify for the candidates, and that is why Parham Maghsoodloo doing well is really throwing a spanner in the Indian contingent's plans. But if the pairings are to be believed, Arjun Erigaisi will take on Parham Maghsoodloo tomorrow, and that will be very interesting. As for Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa, they really need to bounce back now after this. Gukesh in particular, his 2025, although he has nothing to prove, he just doesn't need to play this tournament. He just wants to test himself. This loss against Abhimanyu Mishra will hurt in a big way. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.